All right guys, I got my guy Corey in the chair. He texted me the other day and said, hey man, I know you're cutting for content now a lot of the time. I got a mop and I'll let you do whatever you want, so let's make a video. So I have no idea what we're gonna do, guys. We're gonna get into his hair. He has a ton of hair. We're gonna kind of see what he has and kind of what comes out, and I'll walk you guys through the entire process. So let's get right into it. All right guys, so we're gonna start off with the number 3. I'm gonna come straight up off his head shape and just blend in. Now I said in the front we're gonna do more of a high fade. So I'm gonna start off right here going straight up. As we get to the back of the ear, we're gonna start to just slope down in the back and try to leave most of that weight that we started with. All right, so you guys can see basically the weight line that we started with, and we'll clean that up when we cut the top, but you guys can see this line. We're gonna basically follow that exactly with our bald line. So I'm gonna come straight back, just like it is on top, until I get to the back of the ear, and then we will drop it in the back, again, following that. So I wanna follow that exact shape. We're gonna go pretty low in the back. We'll go ahead and punch the guideline in all around so we know that it is symmetrical and correct, and then we'll bald everything out, hit it with our shaver, and we can start fading on one side. All right guys, so same step as a normal fade. We're gonna do a lever all the way open, about 3/4 of an inch, and we'll follow the same exact shape of the weight line at the top and the weight line underneath. So you guys just follow that along as you go. So same thing here, we're gonna drop it as we get to the back, follow that all the way down, and every guideline we do will follow that same shape. If you guys didn't see my 3-finger technique video, you need to check that out. It is basically putting 3 fingers like this. You can see this section is my first finger. Open 1 here and a 2 here to connect into what we started with, and it allows you guys to see how much space you need to fit your fade wherever you want. So doing a fade like this is no different than doing a burst fade or a straight around fade or a taper. It's all the same, we just place it in different spots. So you guys can see we have a clean open section. Now we'll immediately close it up and start to take the line out from the bottom. Now we'll go halfway open, and we're halfway in the section. So easy to remember, guys. We do the lever open, which is our 5th notch at the top of the section. Lever halfway open is in the middle of the section, and lever close is at the bottom. So you can't get lost, just remember that. If there's a spot up high at the top that you don't like, then you should be at the 5th or 4th notch. If there's a spot at the bottom you don't like, you should be closed or at the 2nd notch. And anywhere in the middle, you should be halfway open. So that should keep you organized, especially when you get to this part where you're just touching up little dark spots. You guys can basically just look at where you're at in the section, go to the correct spot, and then come in and hit those dark spots. So same thing here, guys. 1 guard all the way open, another 3/4 of an inch up, following the same exact shape. So you guys saw when I showed with my fingers kind of the size of our guidelines. And again, if you guys have less room than your fingers aren't gonna fit, then you just tighten everything up a little bit more. But you see we have the room here for this. Here's our open 1. Make sure the guideline is nice and clean, and then we'll go ahead and connect everything above it. And then we can focus on this last line at the very end. All right guys, so we started with the 3, now we're gonna come in with the number 2, and we're not trying to see a guideline here. So we're gonna still follow the same shape. We're gonna cut right up into the number 3 without leaving a guideline, and we're right above the guideline that you guys can see from the 1. Because we know that we're gonna need the 1.5 to take that out, we're not gonna focus on being right on that line, we wanna go above the line. So we'll start to soften this up. It shouldn't blend it together. We should still have a little bit of a line here, and the 1.5 is what is gonna take that all the way out. All right, so now right on that line, like I said, the 1.5 is the sweet spot. It is just the perfect distance between the open 1 and the closed 2. And so no matter what we do with the closed 2, we're still gonna have a little bit of a line here. So I'm just working through with the 1.5 half open. You guys can open it and close it if you need, but half open is gonna be the sweet spot. Then after this, we'll just continue to work our way down until we get that last line out. So now, just to be safe, we're gonna come back with the 1 open and tie right into that 1.5 that we just did, just to make sure, you know, if we come in with the 1 closed and it's a little bit harsh, we can really mess up a lot of the work that we just did. So just to kind of get a feel for where we're at before we close this up, we come in with the 1 open. You guys can tell it's not cutting a lot, everything should be good. So then I can close it up and come in and I start to attack this line. Now the same as the 1.5, guys, the 1 is gonna go slightly above the line, and we will need the half guard no matter how much I go at this line with the 1 closed. We will need the half guard to take it all the way out. So again, you guys just need to understand the steps of what you're doing. We can apply it wherever we want, whatever type of haircut that we want, and we know those things about our steps, and that will keep us consistent. Again, I don't care what haircut it is, I don't care what the shape is, what color the person is, what color their hair is. I can do all my same steps, and I know I'm gonna get a good result in the end. So you guys can see we've been hitting this with the 1 closed, still have some dark spots that just will not come all the way out, and that is what our half guard is gonna do here in a second. So last but not least, guys, half guard, half open, and now we should be right on that line. So you guys can see we still got a dark line right there. This is gonna be the sweet spot, like I said. Just coming straight through that line and blending into the closed 1 that we just did. And you guys can see that just cleaned it up. It didn't take a whole lot. It got that last little hint of a line out. Nice and easy. And guys, I do these same steps every haircut, no matter what the cut is, no matter what the shape is. And I can put out consistent haircuts all day. And that is one reason why I think a lot of my clients come back to me, is consistency. They know they can get the same haircut. Corey here has been coming for 7 years, I think. So he knows what he can get. And funny enough, we've never switched his haircut up really. And he was kind of excited to come in and just kind of let me do my thing. So we will go ahead and move on to the other side. We're gonna do the same exact steps as this. Then we'll connect it all in the back. We'll do a little bit of scissor work on top, and then we'll get him styled up and let him check out this finished product. All right guys, so we have it sectioned down the middle. I didn't start off this way, but we have our weight line right here underneath. We're just gonna bring everything over to that to tie it in. Cut it straight up towards the front. You can see the front is super overhanging, and we wanna maintain this length in the back. So we're just gonna tie it in over here, work our way up towards the front, make sure that it connects in. We'll do the same thing on the other side, take it all up on top and go ahead and point cut it to add some texture, and then we can move on to the finished style. All right guys, we're gonna add a little part right through kind of this dark before we come in and style it. So I got my flex trimmer to come off this corner. This is gonna accentuate the drop. So I wanna follow that exact same shape of our fade that we started with. And we're just gonna kind of make it pop with this little part. So little by little, you guys should not be cutting your parts in and expecting them to be perfect in one go, right? We don't want to push the trimmer around a bunch. We don't want to make it thicker than it needs to be. Just get it started, come in little by little, clean it up until you're happy with it. Once we get the top looking nice, we can come in, flip the trimmer, and clean up the bottom. But you guys see, we're just very slowly detailing it until we get it where we want. And it's just really gonna accentuate the drop on this haircut, so. Now we can flip our trimmer, come in, and we're gonna hit the bottom edge of the line. Every line's gonna have two sides, so we gotta get the top and the bottom if we want it to be super clean. So skinnier in the back, thicker in the front. Just work my way towards the front. You guys can see what that just did for this haircut. Really gonna make it pop. All right guys, that is it for the cut. Kind of a drop fade with the part on the side. Kind of let his hair do what it wanted to do on top. Kind of tried to follow it. Like I said, he's had a side part for a long time. Tried to follow that crazy growth pattern on the back right there. Kind of go with it and make it accentuate actually what that hair wants to do. Nice, clean little fade. I hope it was helpful for you guys. If you guys want to check out another nice, solid tutorial, click right there and check it out.